North Korea, often called the Hermit Kingdom, has long been synonymous with secrecy from the outside world. However, in recent years, the regime has taken a sinister turn by implementing measures that make escape from the country impossible. This video delves into the harrowing realities faced by those who attempt to flee North Korea, examining the steps taken by the authoritarian regime and the impact on its citizens. Well, what makes it impossible to escape North Korea? Firstly is its geography. North Korea, with its enigmatic allure, stands shielded by a powerful combination of rugged mountains and dense forests. Located on the border between China and North Korea, Mount Bakdu is an active volcano. This volcano and the surrounding Bakdu mountain range present a significant challenge for those daring to escape. Moreover, the border between North Korea and South Korea is highly militarized, making it extremely difficult for people to escape. The Demilitarized Zone, DMZ, which spans 250 kilometers, 160 miles in length, and approximately 4 kilometers, 2.5 miles in width, is angled in a way that the western end lies south of the parallel and the eastern end lies north of it. While the DMZ itself is supposed to be a demilitarized zone, the areas beyond this strip are heavily militarized, making the border one of the most fortified and guarded borders in the world. Picture a world where your right to explore and venture beyond freely is nothing but a distant dream. In North Korea, citizens are bound by a ruthless system that makes it illegal to leave their homeland without official permission. Crossing provincial borders or attempting to travel abroad without proper authorization is considered illegal in North Korea. In August 2020, the government went all out to prevent illegal travel to China. They set up these buffer zones along the northern border, stretching for 1 to 2 kilometers. And guess what? These zones have been up and running non-stop throughout 2022. The regime claims this restriction is necessary to safeguard against espionage and defection. But should fundamental human rights be encased in such ironclad shackles? According to the 2023 Global Slavery Index, North Korea, Eritrea, and Mauritania have the highest prevalence of modern slavery in the world. North Korea, in particular, stands out as the country with the highest prevalence rate of modern slavery, with a rate of 104.6 cases per 1,000 population. That means that for every 1,000 people in North Korea, there are 104.6 instances of modern slavery. So, what happens when you don't obey the law and try to leave the country illegally? Well, the audacity to challenge the status quo is met with draconian punishment in North Korea. Merely attempting to escape this prison nation is deemed a criminal offense. An escape attempt is nothing short of betrayal, a treacherous act against the nation and its leadership. The regime slaps treason charges on individuals daring to flee and imposes detrimental sanctions that strike fear into their hearts. Worryingly, these brutal consequences extend even to the families of escapees, spreading an icy cloak of terror that stifles any glimmer of hope. Around 10 years ago, 3,000 people managed to escape from North Korea to South Korea. However, this figure gradually declined in the subsequent years, dropping to approximately 1,000 arrivals. The COVID-19 pandemic further impacted these numbers, causing a significant decrease to below 100 individuals. During this time, North Korea implemented border restrictions, effectively sealing its borders and limiting the inflow of people into the country. This downward trend demonstrates the effectiveness of these legal restrictions and the harsh punishments attached to them. North Korea's iron fist extends to every corner of the nation, dictating where its citizens can live, work, and travel. The government's surveillance measures have expanded beyond just wired microphones and wiretapping of phones. Now, even when people are outdoors, microphones are being utilized to capture conversations. This level of monitoring reflects the extensive control and surveillance that the government maintains over the lives of its citizens. This internal containment perpetuates the regime's control and robs individuals of their privacy and freedom, where every word spoken can be potentially heard and scrutinized. Informants and security forces form a dense network, meticulously monitoring every movement and reporting deviations from the norm. This pervasive surveillance culture instills fear, deterring individuals from challenging the restrictions. The ever-present knowledge that one is being watched ensures that freedom of movement remains a distant dream. In the face of unspeakable atrocities, the international community has resoundingly condemned North Korea's inhumane practices. The United Nations Human Rights Council, UNHRC, human rights organizations, and numerous countries have voiced their outrage. The UNHRC even went so far as to establish a Commission of Inquiry, COI, in 2014, whose damning report exposed North Korea's crimes against humanity. In Korea, all men from the age of 17 must serve in the military. You see, these individuals attend countless enlistment rallies, where saying no to the service seems nearly impossible. The duration of mandatory military service can vary. The service period ranges from 5 to 13 years, depending on the specific circumstances. Those serving in combat units may be required to fulfill a service obligation of up to 10 years, 7 years for women, while individuals in specialized combat units, like the missile forces, may face a longer commitment of 13 years, 7 years for women. North Korea's government maintains an unyielding grip over media outlets, shaping narratives and fabricating propaganda to control the minds of its people. In reality, the government heavily regulates the media in North Korea and only permits information and opinions that align with its agenda and the ruling Workers' Party of Korea. This means that the press lacks independence and is essentially under strict control by the state. This situation has resulted in North Korea consistently ranking at the bottom of Reporters Without Borders' annual Press Freedom Index, indicating a severe lack of freedom of the press. Here, the government restricts journalism and prevents any form of critical reporting or dissenting voices from being heard. The prisons in North Korea have abysmal sanitation, posing a serious threat to the lives of inmates. Unfortunately, many prisoners die annually due to the harsh treatment they endure, including torture and other cruel and degrading treatment. The alarming circumstances within these prisons result in a high mortality rate and the continued violation of basic human rights. Forced labor, starvation, and relentless physical abuse are the precursors of punishment, with justice meted out without due process. Survivor testimonies shed a ghastly light on the inhumane treatment and the indelible scars left behind. In an interconnected world buzzing with information, North Korea stands as a baffling enigma, relentlessly suppressing the free flow of knowledge. Within its borders, foreign media is forbidden. Penalties for consuming it are severe, and the regime ensures a tight grip on the narrative. Imagine a country where the only information you receive is carefully manufactured by the government. In North Korea, the regime works tirelessly to prevent its citizens from accessing foreign media and content. It erects a fortress, isolating the populace from the outside world and inundating them with state-controlled propaganda. In fact, in April 2016, North Korea took a significant step to control the flow of information within its borders. They blocked access to popular social media platforms like Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and various South Korean websites. The government cited its concern over online information's potential influence and impact as the driving force behind this action. But what if you try using a VPN? Well, a simple answer: it won't work. Firstly, the use of a VPN is strictly prohibited and not allowed. Secondly, the country's internet network is entirely isolated from the global internet, with only a limited number of authorized computers having access. Instead, North Korea's national intranet, called Kwangmyong, utilizes domain names with the .kp top-level domain, which are typically inaccessible from the worldwide internet. North Korea has gone to great lengths to prevent its citizens from accessing foreign broadcasts. They employ a vast network of radio jamming stations on the borders, drowning out any external sources of information. You heard that right, they are jamming communication in the 21st century. Any media deemed to be critical or dissenting is swiftly banned. The regime snatches foreign films, books, and publications that could potentially challenge its grip on power. Can you imagine living in a world where even a movie can be deemed dangerous? The regime unleashes its wrath upon those who dare to smuggle, distribute, or consume anything deemed foreign. They want to ensure their narrative remains unchallenged, even if it means throwing dissenters behind bars. Merely viewing foreign media can lead to a 15-year prison sentence in a regular criminal detention facility. Now, if you're a foreigner in North Korea, the authoritarian regime tightly controls the movement and activities of visitors, posing significant obstacles and restrictions. Foreigners in North Korea are subjected to extensive surveillance and restrictions on their movements. The government employs a network of minders or guides assigned to each traveler to monitor their activities. These minders always accompany visitors, limiting their interactions with locals and preventing unsupervised exploration. Furthermore, as a visitor in North Korea, you're not allowed to see what you want. The government lets you know what they want you to see. Visitors to North Korea are often limited to highly curated tours that present a controlled and selective image of the country. The government carefully designs these tours to showcase what it wants foreigners to see, often painting a rosy picture of life in North Korea. And what if a foreigner breaks the law? Foreigners who break arbitrary laws or regulations in North Korea face severe consequences, even resulting in detention, imprisonment, or worse. Several high-profile cases serve as stark reminders of the risks foreigners face in North Korea. The detention and eventual death of American student Otto Warmbier, who was arrested for allegedly stealing a propaganda poster, highlights the severity of punishments for seemingly minor transgressions. While visiting the country may provide a glimpse into its unique and isolated system, foreigners must be aware of these challenges and exercise caution throughout their stay. How is the life of those who escaped from North Korea? Did they get onto the greener pastures? Well, looking at those who arrived in South Korea from North Korea, even years after arriving in South Korea, many defectors face financial challenges. Government figures indicate that in 2022, around 6.1% of defectors were unemployed. The hurdles of integrating into a new society can take a toll on these individuals, reshaping their career paths and dampening their initial optimism. Unlocking the mysteries of North Korea's geographical fortress reveals the immense challenges faced by those who dare to defy its formidable grip. To address the ongoing struggles faced by North Koreans seeking freedom, people must raise awareness about the plight of North Koreans and support organizations dedicated to defending human rights. By understanding the obstacles these individuals face, people can work towards creating solutions and providing them with the help they need. The support can come in various forms, including volunteering or advocating for diplomatic pressure on the North Korean government. So, do you want to visit North Korea? In principle, anyone is permitted to travel to North Korea. However, South Koreans and journalists are typically denied entry, although occasional exceptions have been made for journalists. Moreover, individuals cannot rely solely on their U.S. passport to travel to, within, or through North Korea. Unique validation from the Department of State is required. However, it is strongly advised not to travel to North Korea due to the ongoing significant risk of arrest and prolonged detention of U.S. citizens. What's your perspective on North Korea? Give your views in the comments section. If you gained something new today, give this video a thumbs up, share it, and hit the subscribe button. Watch the next video that will propel you towards greatness and inspire you to leave an indelible footprint in the world.